A long time ago, in a very small village that was surrounded by soft, rolling hills and covered with beautiful green trees and grass everywhere, there was a young girl whose name was Sarah, and she was well known by almost every person in that village because she had a habit of being very lazy, which meant that while many other girls of her age would spend their time helping their mothers and fathers with many different chores in the house or outside, or walking through the fields and the countryside to see nature, Sarah would usually prefer to stay in one place, not doing much work at all. And she liked to rest and avoid any kind of effort. Sarah's parents, who worked very hard every single day because they wanted to earn enough money and food for the family to live well, would often speak to her and tell her that she should try to be more active and helpful. But even though they spoke many times and explained many things, nothing seemed to make her change her habits, and she would often ignore the times when they asked her politely to help with cleaning or cooking or other tasks, choosing instead to spend the whole day lying down under the big old oak tree in the backyard, looking at the sky and letting her mind wander while she thought about all kinds of things. One morning, when the sun was shining warmly and the grass was soft and fresh under her, Sarah was again lying in the garden, watching the white clouds move slowly in the bright blue sky, when she suddenly heard some loud voices and happy noises coming from the main square of the village. And although she was not a person who liked to move quickly, her curiosity slowly made her stand up, and she decided to walk in a relaxed way towards the sounds to see what might be happening there. When she reached the square, she was surprised to discover that a traveling circus had come to their little village, and the circus had many performers, such as acrobats who could jump and move in amazing ways, jugglers who could throw and catch many colorful objects, and a very large tent that was full of exciting and beautiful things to see. Sarah's eyes opened wide with excitement as she stood and watched the performers show their incredible skills to the happy crowd. And she was especially amazed by one dancer who moved with such beauty and grace that it looked as if she was almost floating in the air when she turned and spun across the stage. When the circus show finished and the people started to walk away, Sarah went to the dancer and asked her in a shy but eager voice how she had learned to move in such a beautiful way. The dancer smiled kindly at Sarah and told her that she had learned this skill through many years of hard work, constant practice, and never giving up, even when the training was very tiring or difficult. And she explained that while it is nice to have some natural talent, the most important thing in becoming very good at something is to work hard every day and to keep going even when it feels hard. Hearing these words filled Sarah with a new kind of feeling, and she thought to herself that she also wanted to learn how to dance beautifully. So she went home and asked her parents many times if they could please let her join dance classes. And she promised them that she would work hard and finally put effort into something. Her parents, who were not sure if she would really keep her promise, agreed because they hoped this new interest would help her to become more active and responsible at first. When Sarah began the dance training, she found that the lessons were very strict and that the exercises were difficult. And she sometimes felt that her body was too tired. So she would complain and try to think of excuses to avoid going to practice, choosing instead to rest at home. However, her dance teacher encouraged her and reminded her about the beautiful dancer she had seen at the circus. And slowly Sarah started to improve a little, moving her feet and arms more smoothly and learning to remember the steps as weeks passed and then months. Sarah became more interested in learning, and her effort began to grow because she wanted to be better at every dance move. So she practiced again and again, and her movements that were once slow and awkward became soft, graceful, and full of energy. Soon, she was taking part in dance recitals and even in competitions, and many people in her family and her group of friends were amazed and proud of the change they saw in her. But as time went on, and as her skill in dancing grew stronger, her old habit of being lazy began to return in some parts of her life because she started to skip some of her household chores. She sometimes missed rehearsals to rest in the sun, and she delayed her schoolwork until the last moment. Her parents, who had hoped that dancing would teach Sarah to work hard in every part of life, began to feel worried and frustrated again, realizing that she was starting to make the same mistakes as before. Sarah spoke to her teacher and apologized, saying that she wanted to work harder again and not let her laziness control her. From that moment, she practiced her dancing with new energy and also tried to be responsible with her other tasks at home and in school, reminding herself every day that being disciplined in all areas was important for becoming the kind of person she wanted to be. After a long time of steady effort, Sarah's dedication paid off because she became the most admired dancer in the village, and people loved her for her talent and her willingness to practice and perform with joy. Her parents, who remembered the days when she would spend hours doing nothing, now watched her performances with happy tears in their eyes because they were so proud of her. And so, the girl who once preferred to do nothing learned that if she keeps trying and never gives up, she can achieve almost anything she dreams of doing. And from that day, she decided she would never again let laziness take away her chances, because she understood that the only limits a person has are the ones they put in their own mind.